what we're going to talk about today is last minute changes to the estimate, whether we're getting updated pricing from subcontractors or material vendors, or maybe management is decided to cut or add some money to our estimate. And, we've got this bid going out the door, hard bid going out in 45 minutes, and we want to make some sense of how we're going to make those cuts or adds. And the estimate tool can really help you out. For instance, I'll show you an example here. Let's take a look at the CBS. This is where we're doing some of our work, right? As estimators, we're spending a lot of time in here. This is where we have certain metadata attributes, for instance, an account code. Some of those other metadata attributes include things like quote groups. So if I'm going to take quotes on a certain scope of work or on certain types of materials, I can group those all together. And I'll show you an example of that. If I come over here and I'm going to go to my quote module, and I'm going to look at compare and award for our cost items. And the way I've set this view up is I've decided I wanted to see my quote groups over here on the left. And so this is sort of a filter. I'm taking a lot of quotes on a lot of different things in the estimate. But as I go through these one by one, look at my commercial work, I can see, I'm using these plug numbers in a lot of my estimate, and I haven't really received quotes from any vendors. I would see subcontract quotes going out here to the right. So clearly I need to do some work on my commercial work, maybe take some quotes there. Earthwork looks like it's been reviewed. You see the tick mark there? So I can actually review these quote groups, and I'm going to stick with my detail number on this. The sub was just too high in a couple of these cases, so we're going to detail the number. I've marked it as reviewed, so I don't have to go back there and see if there's any changes. Another neat thing too is with the sign work, we have what we call scope items. Is the subcontractor going to include a mobilization, a survey, or a layout? If there's temporary traffic control, who's going to manage that? So if you can choose whether or not those things are included in the base bid, or you can monetize those, right? In this case, I've added another $500 to do the survey. So this is really cool. As these prices change, it's really easy to come in here, edit someone's quote. I can make if this sign sub calls it back at the last minute and says, hey, I really want to either sharpen my unit price, I want to give you a different unit price, or I want to make some sort of an adjustment to that. Maybe I want to knock that down by so many dollars, or if I want to take 25% off, I can just put in a negative 25 there. The quote has been updated. I go back to compare and award, see if that makes a difference. Sure enough, he's now lower. He's now coming in at $975 versus $1,150. He's going to get the work. He or she's going to get the work. And then the last thing I want to do is I want to come over to my pay item and proposal form, and I want to reprice the bid to make sure that those updated costs are in there. You'll notice that a moment ago, my variance was 0. Now it's telling me I can cut $1,900 out of here. If I want to do that, very easy to go balance my bid, hit my target total. And this is a really cool feature too. You've got the ability to lock these prices. So when the prices are locked, just like it sounds, you can unlock a couple of items. So if I'm waiting to get some last minute quotes in from an electrical sub, I can keep just those electrical items open and just push those changes certainly right back into those items. So that's a couple of things that our customers really tell us they like, especially in those final last minute closeouts.